So, I had an angry rant that I should have just had to myself. But instead, I ranted to the one bot that's downloading the video. So it's all good. What I'm working on is legacy transaction, meaning the way that we currently do things. That is the less secure way than the way that we will be doing it, regardless of whether one or both of the methodologies of Dash Incubator and Dash Core are adopted for the future. I think that in both strategies, well, more so ours than theirs at present, but I think even theirs should have a better solution for this in the future. So anyway, brighten this up a little bit. So, but one thing that I need to do here is that I need to implement, I forget what the number is, but it's the lexicographical sort of transactions. That needs to be implemented here. And I think there was something else that needs to be implemented here. I think I'm sorting this incorrectly. So I was in the general case, we want to sort. I actually have a better sorting algorithm that I'll put in here later, one that I have created, but that I don't want to put in right now. So I'm just going to call this, whoops, tx dot sort desk. Whoops. Should it be DSC to match ASC, or should it be desk? All right, so if it's larger, it's going to show up on top. All right. I mean, that's something. I had some sort of type here for something with sats. I'm pretty sure has sats, maybe has. So my sort by sats, we need to go back up here, and we need to have a sort by sats desk. All right. So, but down by TX sum, we need to have a sort by sats desk, and then we need to have the params be TX has sats A, and then TX has sats B. And then this is going to return a number. And it's weird. It should be a lot cooler in here right now. Oh, I think, let's see, is the AC, maybe this AC's not set right. Let me try going down a couple. Okay, I think it's not a lot cooler because it actually, when there's not enough circulation, it gets cool up there quicker than it gets cool down here, which is another thing I might need to do something about. The window is on the second level, in the roof level, whatever. Yeah. So I'm just gonna have that. Okay. Sort by sides descending. Anyway, my angry rant is the same one I have all the time. I'm upset that the elites up at the top abuse the people underneath of them for the sake of their own narcissism. That they force complexity upon them that they are not yet able to understand and are unaware that they have the choice to pick things that are simple. The current thing being that server-side rendering is yet again breaking packages that have been working. And it's just really frustrating because 10 years ago, things were simpler, more performant. You know, if we just went back to Backbone, I mean, I would love to see some performance metrics against an average site, not these highly tuned sites where they're showing, okay, well, here's what this platform is built for. It's just built for a social feed, and it can do an infinite scroll better than anything else that's existed. It's like, okay, I believe that, right? I believe that if you fine-tuned a framework for infinite scrolling, it'll do infinite scrolling better than any other framework. I believe that. But just you know, general run-of-the-mill, let people do the thing. You know, people need to do some stuff. If we took the frameworks from a decade ago, now granted, there's optimizations in the browser, we have better tools available to us from the standards perspective. I don't know. It's and in some ways there might be some developer tools that are better. There's probably one or two that are better than what we had, but you know, you look at this stuff and it's just largely ridiculousness. Okay. Anyway, let me do this for a minute. All right, so input of coins. All right, what is this? Oh, that's the other thing I need to do. I need to do big ints. Sort by, so that's what I need to do. Let A equals big int A dot Satoshis. We need to let B equals big int B dot Satoshis. And then we need to do return B minus A. There we go. Oh, whoops. Okay, so I needed to fix that. I'm writing that out because that looks like the word on, and I want it to be clear that it's 0. Maybe I should even do this. Yeah, because having the 0 in, it looks like on, which is, to me, that's confusing. So I wish that it didn't have to be this way, but if we're going to support big ints, then that's how it's got to be. Okay, so we're doing the coin sort. Let's see, bigger or equal. Yeah, okay, maybe I want to use the I'm going to use naive. We're going to do naive coin selection first here. Which basically the naive selection, because I do have a better algorithm for this already which I want to incorporate, but I'll incorporate it later. The better algorithm is basically break it down into denominations. So you have some non-denominated input, break that down into denominations for the purposes of accounting, and then check to see which it's not a brute force optimal, but it's kind of a guess and check optimal. So find the input that fulfills the most of the denominations, and then basically keep walking through until you find the best. Basically, you're trying to find the best match of denominations. Which was I talking to you about? What? So you find the best match of denominations, and then you select that coin, and then you find the next coin that has the best selection of denominations, and then you match that coin, and you make sure that the number of coins you select are equal to or better than what the denominated inputs that you would pick are, and then you return the change, ideally in a denominated form. And this is actually be the perfect use case for that. So this might actually be a really good place to apply it. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, okay, but I'll do just a very naive one for now, because I need to do more adaptation to that algorithm that I just described in order to bring it into here. So I won't do that right now. All right. I think we can do this. Let's see. We need to define, like, way up here. I said, like, bah. Because 0 in is just too confusing. I'm getting confused just looking at that. I'm going to have to call it every night. I am just not having a good day. I assume denominations would have to be endless, like pi. Not endless, but not coming to an end. No. So in a sense, yes, you can always go bigger. Well, up to a point, because so the cap limit on Dash is 18 million. So the biggest denomination that you could have in Dash, according to my rules of denomination, would be 10 million Dash. But the smallest denomination that you could have, according to my units of denomination, would be 1 millidash. And so you can go from 10 million Dash to 1 millidash, and then your denominations that you would have in between would be 5 million, 100,000, 50,000, 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000. Oh, I forgot the twos in there, the doubles, wholes, and halves. So doubles, wholes, and halves all the way in between. So millidash, 2 millidash, 5 millidash, 10 cent dash, 50 cent dash, 20 cent dash, 10 cent dash, 20 cent dash, 50 cent dash, then 10th dash, 2/10 dash, half dash, dash, 2 dash, 5 dash, 10 dash, 20 dash, 50 dash, 100 dash, 200 dash, 500 dash. Wait, did I do that right? I'm losing my place as I'm thinking about it and counting out loud at the same time. Then, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100, or 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. So, yeah, so 0.001. So by millidash, I mean 0.01. Sorry, 0.001. That's as small as I can go. I tried out the doing sub millidash, but it just doesn't work out on a number of levels. From a practical point of view, Dash would have to be redenominated in a big way, like a protocol level code change. What we'd have to do is we'd have to hyperinflate Dash, not in the way that it's commonly used, I'm understanding, because a lot of people use that term meaning just to print more money so that the existing money has less value, What I mean, because with Dash, you essentially, you have the serial number of the coin, so you hyperinflate at a particular block. So every coin generated before that block would have a value adjusted to the hyperinflation. So if we want to get Dash down to in the realm of $1 to $10, once it's at a healthy level in the current system, which, I mean, this could be good for us anyway, because I think if we mega dumped Dash down to, say, the 30 cents, let's say that we did this today, I think that it would increase the value of Dash, because it's nice to be able to get whole units of a thing, right? So Dash would be less attractive because right now it's easy to get whole units of it, but you might get 10 Dash. But if it was, down at 30 cents, then you'd, get 100 or 1,000 of it. It just feel more powerful to have more of a thing. But anyway, so what I mean is that you hyperinflate at a block number. And so from that block number forward, where you would have given people 1 Dash, you give them 10 Dash or 100 Dash. And if anybody goes to exchange, and this can all be done in software, right? So the software gets released ahead of time with all of the information ready for that block change. When that block change hits, the software knows what coins you have. So if you had 10 Dash worth $320, when the change hits, it would show you that your balance is worth $320. But instead of having 10 Dash, it would show that you have 100 Dash. Now, there'd be a number of things that would have to change to that. In order to make that, you'd have to update a lot of software, like what I'm doing right now. All of these summing and calculation functions, actually, they wouldn't have to change. But when you go to select available coins, you would have to hyperinflate the coins that are from prior blocks. So you'd have to update, basically it should only happen in one place that's pretty easy to update it, which is that when you go to fetch available coins, whatever function you call to say fetch available coins from my wallet, that function should have a facade that would pad all of the coin values by that 10x or 100x. No, the transaction fees would become less expensive because a transaction fee would stay 192 sats, because sats are not really part of Dash. The transaction fees are legacy from Big B. They're not relevant to Dash. We're not a proof of work system. We're a proof of stake system. The legacy Big B crap just needs to go. The thing is, it has to get funded to be changed, right? But there's no value in this Big B stuff. All it does is hurt us. All it does is make us further from digital cash, because we're not actually following along with what, Big B was supposed to be. Anyway, the whole point is we could do a block height adjustment. It could be done. It is feasible. The exchanges would have to be aware of it. There would have to be some special code that allows you to do a special type of transaction that, a hyperinflation transaction perhaps, or just be able to recognize the value of something. So when you allocate the outputs, you would allocate the outputs to the new value, and you would reject donations to the network that were ridiculous. So basically, if you were going to donate to the network more than, say, a millidash, then that transaction would get rejected with a message, your network donation too high. That way, any of the software that's out there wouldn't be able to accidentally give people 1/10 or 1/100th the value of the money that's in the system. So that need to be something that's communicated. That need to be something that's put in the core tools, and something where people are given a migration path. But it is doable. You just have to get the exchanges to want to care about Dash, because I don't think they really do right now. And when we're talking about denominate, when I was saying doing the denomination thing, what I'm saying is, say that you have a current value like 21785,302. However many digits it is, the full 8 digits. 2 point whatever. And you need to spend something that's close to that. So what you do is you look at your coins that are available. You denominate what you need to spend. You denominate the coins that are available. And then you say, here's a group of denominations versus this group of denominations. See if they match. And if you find a perfect match, you use that coin and you just donate the change. So that the value that's uncountable value, you just donate the change. If you find something that is half of it, but then has denominations left over, you select something else that has the fewest inputs that you can according to the denomination schedule. And then that's going to give you some change back. But you would denominate the change back. See what I'm saying? So this way you would get it wouldn't give you the brute force, because if you were to take all of these things, it's called the subset sum problem, and it's an unsolved problem in computer science. Or rather, there's not a clear solution that's better than brute force. There are some solutions that are better than brute force, but I was not able to clearly. But it's a traveling salesman type problem. There is no ideal solution. There are just solutions with trade-offs, but to get really good, the time becomes exponential that you have to take, just like the traveling salesman problem. So subset sum problem is a traveling salesman problem. Now this is slightly different from the subset sum problem. It's not exactly the same. There's some optimizations that we can make, and there's some assumptions that we can make that we don't actually have to meet the subset sum problem perfectly. But it's one of those problems that doesn't have a perfect solution. So there's no sense in trying to get the best possible outcome of all the coins that you have, because you'd essentially have to try every single combination of coin that's possible that is slightly above the limit, and then you have to define what does slightly above mean, right? But there's not a definite solution. Okay, so inputs. So here we do inputs.push, let input equals bigger or equal dot pop, and then you do the input, and then you'd break. And this one would need to be whatever the flippy dippy the coins are, right? What are we saying coins are? All right, it's going to be this same thing. We're going to do this one and again and again. Okay, so there we go. So we got those. We're going to push them in. There is a problem with current software and any future software that's going to need to be dealt with, is that really sats need to be done in big ends. And really, the thing is, we should never... This is another reason that we need denominations, is that we literally can't keep track of the bigness of these numbers, right? So at least in JavaScript, we don't have a representation. If people were to actually use a digital currency as money, when the numbers start to get big, so say, and 18 million coins is way too few if we want this to actually be money, right? There's way too few coins. Everybody needs to be able to have 100,000 of the thing, right? Or 10,000 of the thing. There needs, depending on what the unit is, the sliding scale, whatever. You need to be able to have a sufficient quantity of this to account for a salary, right? See, you can't have millions of people having the salary equivalent of Dash if your supply is capped at 18 million, right? It doesn't make sense. We get to the point where transaction fees are $1,000, and it doesn't make any sense. You pay the minimum amount of sats, and it's useless, right? So we need to have a much larger coin supply. At some point, somebody's got to recognize that. But I think it's got to be messaged very carefully, because a lot of people, they're familiar with the stupid way that some of these coins do the hyperinflation, which is the way that the people at the top stay rich, right? Now, you hyperinflate at a block height so that nobody is made the loser. You're not bringing on more quote unquote investors and giving the investors the sweeter deal by eating away at you're at the previous people's value. You don't have to do that. I think that it'd be very hard to do it from the marketing perspective, because inevitably what would happen is that people would release articles that are just false. They're just outright lies. And how do you combat that? How would you, once people put out false information, it's very difficult to go back and clean it up. I don't understand this. I just checked if there's a length. So that, I mean... Okay. So here what we're doing this is a semi-optimized grouping, and that basically we're trying to say, hey, if we can find something that's bigger, doing this the dumb way, and I think that with as many millions of dollars that are invested in this stuff, we don't need to do it the dumb way, but just a little quickie here. Doing it the dumb way, oops, you're always just basically picking the biggest thing and then breaking it down smaller. But doing it a slightly smarter way is that you're saying, okay, go until something is not bigger. Then if one thing was bigger, use the smallest bigger thing. The strategy still ends up in producing lots of smaller inputs, but we can fix that later. We really do want to create a transaction. Well, so we have the freedom to create this transaction a lot better, because it becomes an implementation detail. I'll think about that later. Alright, so we don't really need this smaller thing. I do need to double check this now. Okay. All right. Maybe we should just go biggest one. Okay. So legacy creates. All right. Okay. Getting back onto this. That was not a beer, right? No, this. So I think the reason this has become popular, people say, "Oh, that the marketing's amazing" or whatever. I think the reason that this has become popular is because it looks like beer. I think that's the reason. I think because the middle school kids and the high school kids, they want to be able to drink something that looks like beer. But this is called Liquid Death. You can see it's got a picture of Ganon from Tears of the Kingdom on it. That's their logo. I don't know how they got away with that. I don't know if you can see that really well. But it's absolutely 100%. That is King Ganon from Tears of the Kingdom right there. Just go watch the intro. That's him. Anyways, they call it Liquid Death, and their thing is death to plastic, death to your thirst, blah, blah, blah. It's LaCroix. It's LaCroix branded for teenagers that want to look like they're drinking beer. In fact, I've been a little sheepish around some of my friends that aren't familiar with this brand when I drink one, because it looks like I'm popping open a beer, and they'd be like, wait a minute, you don't drink. So no, it's essentially a LaCroix with a little bit of extra sweetness, a little bit of extra flavor. So LaCroix tastes like water that's been bottled on the same planet that grows, in this case, you know, limes. Liquid Death tastes like it's been bottled in a room where there was a fan blowing across limes into the carbonation bowl, you know. So that's kind of the difference. And I don't even know how true that is. It may not even be that much of a difference. But this has 20 calories in it for the whole can. For the whole can, it's a 20-ounce can. It's got 20 calories. But it is a little bit better in terms of if I've already had a whole big thing of Mountain Dew and I'm still just dying of thirst. In fact, I could go get another one of these. The 2 of these, 40 ounces of this, it does murder your thirst eventually, but I'm still thirsty. It's so hot these days. So hot. Okay. I got enough. I paid enough. I never got the sweeter deal. The sweetest deal was a month ago. Gesundheit. Murder your thirst. H2O CO2 flavors. Yeah. The easiest way to make money. Sell water. Is that what you're talking about? Or sell water that looks like beer to teenagers? Is that what you're saying? Is what is the easiest way to make money? Oh, the easiest way to make money, it being H2O CO2 flavors. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, water, sugar, carbonation, canned and available. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Or if it is, it's that'd be okay if it were the worst thing in the world. It's not the worst thing that could be the worst thing in the world. Oh, okay, right. So here. All right. So what this is going to do is it's going to see, okay, do we have some bigger coins? And I almost want to just pick one at random. I think that with super naive approaches like this, the best thing that you could really do is just pick one at random and then pick the next one at random. Because the problem is that you tend towards dust. No matter how you sort it, when your basic algorithm is comparing less than or equal to, greater than or equal to select coins, you're going to tend towards dust because you're going to get the thing that is the closest to what you have, and you approach useless amounts of change back. And so maybe the way to do this would be to pick, I don't know, it all depends on what the difference is. There's a lot more logic that could be put in here. I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to leave this one as is. And will it be better than just picking the biggest coin off the top? I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Picking the biggest coin is less likely to result in dust, but it's more likely to result, I don't know. I don't know. Because that one, you just result in lots of coin reuse. I'm just going to leave it with this. This is going to be good enough for now. I'll pull this out into a function for basically, well, this already is kind of the select coins function, but this loop could be replaced with something else that could be better. And we do, through the course of this, we do want to be able to update total. So we're going to push that on. All right, where did total come from here? Where did subtotal come from? Wait, total right here is a big int, right? Oh, no. And then this is big max input size, right? Big max input size is a big int. Oh, there's some bug and it's case sensitive on big int. I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah, so big int and lowercase big int are considered different types, and although the type is actually big int with capital B, capital I, it requires that you use the type with the lowercase, all lowercase. I don't get why that is, but very few people are using big int, so I'm not surprised it didn't catch on. Okay. Okay, so total in greater than or equal to total break new total. All right, so this I need to test. I need a unit test for this specifically. I might be able to dig that out of the wallet code because there is a unit test for something pretty similar to this that I could probably adapt. But the problem that we have, let's see. One of the problems that we have is that my face keeps on clipping into here. Okay, so the problem that we have is I need to be really darn sure about the change limit here. So, wait, is this automatically doing big int conversion? I'm so confused right now. I don't actually know what the legacy dust size is. I have to go double check on that. Okay. Alright, so let me double check this here, because this all should be perfectly predictable. Alright, so we got outputs.slice, coin sort, tx.sum, coins. Okay, so we're gonna do inputs, outputs, change output. And the goal here is that we should be returning a transaction at the end without changing any of this stuff. Is it raining? A little sprinkle right now? Okay, so we make a copy of outputs. We take coins. I guess we should have a copy of coins. Because we don't want whatever the other party did to the coins to be affected by us. So we're just going to make a copy of each of these. We're going to sort our copy, not sort their copy. We're going to get the balance. We're going to allocate inputs. We're going to get the current fee, which does include no inputs because we're going to be adding those one by one. We're going to create a big fee. And then we're going to sum the outputs. And that's going to give us when we sum the outputs, that's going to give us what the cost is. And then, wait, that gave us the subtotal. The subtotal plus the fee gives us the total. So subtotal is what we pay. The total includes taxes. You know what? I'm going to call it taxes. Taxes. There we go. No, I won't be that spiteful right now. But so as far as nomenclature goes, subtotal plus taxes is the total. That makes sense. So I think I actually will go with that for readability. All right. Just make a couple of readability changes here. Okay, good. That we're clear what units we're working with, because math is hard when you've got a bunch of different units. Okay. So that's a little bit easier. Alright, so we're going to take all our coins. And we're going to turn... These coins could be inputs. So... Actually, I feel like... There's a bug here. There we go. Fix that bug. Hmm. We're gonna do this a little cleaner. Okay, there we go. So that fixes our off by 1 error. And then allows us to be conditional. Still allows us to be conditional about when we put this in, but doing the fewest math operations. Okay. Big output size, big legacy dust. Alright, so this is all good. Sats less than total. Okay. All right, so the change limit needs to be the cost of change plus something meaningful. Some meaningful amount, some spendable amount. Minus big output size. Right. So we're going to remove change output .satoshis equals change. So this is the one thing that we do change. We do modify the change output. There was something I was thinking about earlier about how could we handle this. Oh, wait. I remember. There we go. So that's how we make a copy of it. Okay. Push the output on. I don't think the minus operator should exist in programming. I think you should only be able to add a negative. And the reason for that being pretty clear, that it's completely unclear when you're doing subtraction what the result would be. Because subtraction is not associative. I'm assuming that subtraction goes from left to right. That you take some value, then you subtract the next value. You take that result, you subtract the next value. You take that result, you subtract it, and so on. But it's, when you look at it, it's not clear by looking at it. Whereas if you do plus negative, that's completely clear by looking at it. Okay, we're going to add all of these together. We're going to add some negative numbers together, and we're going to add... So my rule of thumb has become that basically if the operation requires parentheses, they should be on separate lines. Because parentheses, I don't know. Do we ever use balance other than right there? I need to test another condition right here. I think the term, rather than sats in, is the term is better cache, is it not? I kind of want to. To me, I kind of want to call this cash. I'm going to call it cash for the second, because that's when I think of it. It's cash is what I have in hand that I'm going to give, right? See, I wanted this line to read easier. Change is cash without the total or the cost of change. And then we don't need this line here. What happens if we assign false? Nothing. Okay, we actually want this to be this way because they could assign the change address after the fact. Oh, hold on. This is a reason that we need to not do this. Could we do this in a different way? Maybe not. I think the way that this would need to be done would be change would be change output. Got it. So when we do the change sort, this is what we do. I hate using -1 though. I hate it. I don't. So here's, I feel like it's unintuitive. So this is what you'd have to do if you wanted to change the address after the fact. You'd have to add the address onto change here. And then that would update the output. That's something I'm not really feeling great about. All right, now I need to go back into the wallet, and I need to grab the lexicographical sort. Let me go back to the dip, because the lexicographical sort that I came up with is actually very close to the real one, but it's wrong. I kind of want to do... There's a way... I don't think that... So, a coin join wallet wouldn't have change. I think we should simply use different count indexes. Use a different account index for the coin join wallet than the regular wallet. what did I call it? Features might not be the right word here. Capabilities. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so let me try 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where did I address that? Okay. Let me get out of there. That's not actually what I came here for. What did I come here for? I came here to look at the enforce. There we go. Enforcing transaction hygiene. Okay. Let me go back here. That's what I want to look at, right? Yes, I wanted to look at this one. I need to click on the preview. I need to go back to... Yeah, I think I grabbed the wrong one for this. So I said consider this as examples of... I got the wrong one on that. Anyway, the transaction hygiene, this one right here. So this defines... I think I defined in here what basically... Yeah. Okay, here we go. Previous transaction ID. This is the reverse. Wow, they're stored in a transaction. I gotta double check on that. This is the algorithm that I need, and I have it partially implemented, like I said, in the wallet. So if I go back up to, not wallet UI, where do I have this right now? I think I do have it under Dash Tools, Dash Wallet, yeah. So if we go into Dash Wallet, and we look at functions called sort, I thought I had a sort inputs and a sort outputs. There we go, sort inputs. So this is wrong. Oops. Okay. So an input. So yeah, let's take a look at sort inputs. The size of the unlocking script. Unlocking script sequence number. The hash of the previous transaction and the output index are sufficient for sorting purposes. Correct. Okay, so I need to go look this up, and I need to figure out which byte order they're using. If it's the byte order that's on the transaction ID, or if it's the byte order that is on the transaction input. And I think that this is sorted byte order of the transaction input, which is the normal order that you would expect when you're using languages like JavaScript. That's the network byte order. But you normally have things go left to right as you put more bytes on the bytes. Bytes go this way, the way that you read, lexicographical. The way that Anyway, let's do. All right, it's checking me to make sure I'm a bot. I didn't like that. Let's try it again. Can I view this? Is there any way for me to get the data information out of here? Maybe if I open this up and I refresh, I'll see what APIs they're hitting and be able to grab the data that I need. Ooh. Yeah, looks like maybe not. Looks like this is all PHP style rendering. Good old PHP coming back into fashion just in time. Or maybe I can look at it here. Oh, alright. I need one like what I have with... Where's it to go? How can I get... Is there a raw API call? Let's see. Ah, there we go. That they should have just called it JSON. Okay. So my belief is that if I were to take this in our tool, I'd be able to see what it looks like. Let me go ahead and do this for VI temp, and this would be and I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but projects dash, and then what was this project dash? Inspect temp BTC. Okay, cool. Good. So 17 of these And they should all be sorted in the right order, I suppose. What are my outputs here? Okay, this lexicographical sort. No, the input lexicographical sort. Okay, how are the inputs sorted here? All right, so this one starts with B8. That one starts with B1. That one starts with A4. That one starts with 0. That one starts with 2. All right, so it looks like... Wait, what? These are random. What the flippy dippy is going on here? Dang it. No, they're... Okay, these are backwards. Okay, so this one is 64. No? Dang it. I cannot make heads or tails of this. All right, so is this saying the way that it is sorted or the way that it should be sorted? Let me see if I can find E053 in there. Oh, it's saying we're going to take a transaction. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's saying we're going to take a transaction that exists, that's sorted incorrectly, and we're going to resort it the way that would be correct. And 53 OE. Is that what this is saying? Dag friggin' nabbit. Okay, OE 53, so it's reversed, 53 OE. Okay. So it is indeed reverse byte order sorting them. So this is this big Indian or is this little Indian? It is reverse. So this is actually Little Indian, I believe. So this is Little Indian sort. Okay, let me make sure that the way that their tool is doing this does the same thing. Previous hash, OE53. No, their tool is doing it differently. But what if I look at the block itself? Okay, so let's look at the block itself. Little details in which the devil is 53 OE. Okay, 53 OE. All right. Okay, so in the block itself, it's stored as 53 OE. That's how it's actually stored. The byte sequence. So they're doing a reverse lexicographical comparison. Dag nabbit. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so I'm storing it in byte sequence order. I think that I may be doing it wrong, but I'm not sure how to fix it. I think that this is the way that the object is normally parsed. I need to find another example. Let me go through the one that I normally use for Dash. All right, let's take a Dash transaction here. All right. Okay, so the question is it 85E5 in this one? What is the canonical form of TXID? That's the question that I want to answer. Because I need to make sure that the code is doing that. Okay. 85. Okay, 85 what? 85E? So we're looking for either E85 or 85E. I'm trying to figure out which. 85E. Not found. E85. 85E? No. E85. No. How can that neither of those be in there? Literally that has to be in there. Did I not just decode this transaction? Okay. Okay, so nope. Oh, right, because I need to do the... Alright, so what it's calling previous hash. So I think that I may be doing this wrong. The way that so it gives me the correct result, but the intermediate representation is incorrect. The intermediate representation is internally consistent. But this thing right here that I'm calling TXID... gosh. I need to check this on something else. What's something else that uses TXID? No, I need to use Insight. That's what I need to use. Okay, so I need to look at this transaction from the Insight perspective. What? The letter L? No, right here. So let's look at this from the Insight perspective. Okay, what ordering is this using? So basically, I need to know with a core UTXO, because we have previous hash is different from... Brrr. That doesn't look right. That's not describing this. What transaction am I looking at here? Let's clear all this stuff out. Refresh. Oh, I need to look at the most recent transaction from July 21st. Okay, that's what I need to look at. Fair. Okay, so when I look at this, I'm going to clear this out again. Refresh this again. Look at this. Okay. So, or was what did I need to actually look at the previous transaction before this? TXID. That's not what I was looking at just a minute ago. What is it? Maybe I do need to look at the previous one. Alright, the main thing I need to know is this. AE16. Is that this transaction? That may not be this transaction. I thought it was, but I might be wrong. Okay, that's not this transaction. I think it was it this transaction? Okay, let me go back and parse this again. Because I skipped a beat somewhere. Let me make sure I'm parsing the right thing. Pretty sure I am. So decode this transaction. This transaction has a bunch of inputs and some outputs. I don't think this is the right transaction. I'm very confused. Looking at this one. That doesn't make sense. Okay, this is definitely not the right transaction. I'm very, very confused. No? There it is right there. Okay. So this is that one. So we're looking here for inputs. Okay, so when we look at this, we need to compare these transaction IDs. These previous transaction IDs. So let's look at XV or XY. XY is easy to remember. XY. Okay, so its previous hash. Basically, I just need to know, are these numbers reversed when I look at them at this API? Because that's where I think my confusion's coming from, is the Insight version of the API. And then I have to go check. Oh, this is so annoying. Because I need to know the difference between this and the core. No, because the core UTXO. No, we were already using this. Okay, so the way that Bitcore works, the way that Dash Core works, the way that Insight works, they name it differently, TXID versus TX capital ID. But so previous hash is the reverse of TXID. Maybe? Anyway, let me go ahead and refresh this. Let's take a look at, where's that transaction at? That's the document. Where's the actual, there it is. Okay. So, I'm very confused because TXID and previous hash don't seem to match. So this would be 3F05. Do I see a 3F05? I do not. So what is going on here? Am I looking at the same transaction? Yes or no? Okay, 3F05. There it is. There's XY, and this is 3F05. So it starts with 85E5. Okay, does this one start with 85E5? This one starts with 85E5. Okay, I am more confused than ever right now. Do I reverse it before I write it? Is that what I'm doing? Or... because I've been taking these things from the Insight API and I've been using them. Okay, 85E5, 053F. Okay, 85E5, 053F. So those agree. TXID here agrees with with previous hash here. So is my parser wrong or is my packer wrong? Either one could be true. Let's go ahead and do okay. So this is going to reverse it. All right, so this is wrong. All right, let's take a look at this. So when I do... I'm taking the TX input ID and hold on. Am I sure? Let me just run this one more time. It's just one of those mind-boggling things. Why would you reverse? Why would you reverse this? Okay, so let's go back and let's search for this one more time. So I'm looking for is 85E5. So let's look in here. Let me clear everything out. Run this. So I'm looking for 85E5. Not finding it. But if I search for 85 or E585, then I find it. So this is in the wrong order. But I've been doing transactions with this, so it's been working out. Just must put it in the right order. So this... Okay, but again, let me take a look at this. So previous hash, but then this one, previous hash, OE53. So is this sorting it? OE53. Okay. So TXID is sorted in the way that when it's written out, so tx.push and inputs, join separator, input, see, an input hex.push, reverse TXID. Okay. Got it. All right, so I am doing that right. So the way that the TXID is typically formatted is in the correct format to be lexicographically sorted as is. So quadruple confirming this. OE53. Check. OE53. All of these numbers are lexicographically sorted, so TXID as is only needs to be lexicographically sorted as is. Okay, final answer. All right, we're gonna fix this up. All right, and which way did they define it? Okay, and then ascending here, right? Ascending via. Okay. And then this was just silly. I don't know why I had that in there. I was just I was at a brain fart at the time that I did that. Okay. So if A is greater than B, return 1, A should go down. If A is less than B, return -1, A should go up. And then take A, possibly 0, minus B, possibly 1. They give you -1. If you turn -1, it goes up. Okay, good. This is the correct lexicographical sort. All right, and then let's just take another quick look at these. Output index, output value, output index. Now what do we got here? What does this call it? Vout. So I don't know whether this is little Indian or big Indian order. I want to say that it is. I mean, what order does the hash normally come out? Okay, let's look at this. Is SHA-256 little Indian or big Indian? What the heck do we call that? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, there we go. That's it. Great. Got it. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So that actually, by happenstance, wasn't wrong. Okay, but I'm pretty sure the sort outputs is wrong. Because here's the funny thing, is that the memo, for example, also must be sorted. Some more nose picking. Everybody take a good look. Get a screenshot. Is that right? I don't know if this is... Am I saying this correctly? Okay, let me just... No, I'm not going to do that. All right, so sort outputs. We're going to take this function. Get rid of that, get out of that. We're going to go back in here. When we're sort inputs, we're going to do a sort outputs. But this is going to have different... You know, I think I should probably call that a sortable input. Okay. Sort inputs, sort outputs. Oh no. All right, let's see what this thing says about sorting outputs. We probably shouldn't have closed those. Let me reopen those. Okay. So let's take a look at the outputs. So sorted first. By the monenes, right? Okay, cool. When do we construct the script? Let's, because there's some nuance here. Okay, so that should be big int. Let's get better clarification on what the term script pub key means here. $106. So these really need to be sorted once the script conversion is already done. It's kind of a PETA. Okay. So 118. There's kind of a few different scenarios here. The ideal would be that the script has been provided. I'm gonna have to take a look at this. So script is number 1. Pub key hash is number 2. Memo is number 3. Address. Rock 76. Basically, things of the same type need to be handled the same. So if we're comparing a memo... All right, I think I know what to do here. We're going to have an A type and a B type. Numerical? What the letter L was going on there? I don't know why I did that way. The standard is obviously better. What's up, Yoshi boy? Long time no see. And you're joining in on the Dash stream, which I guess makes sense since I haven't done a Beyond Code stream in a month. It goes. And where it stops, nobody knows. So what we need to do here is... I think that this should be done beforehand. Well, I get this. Oh, hey, Yoshi boy. Now you're following Dash Incubator. Let's see. There we go. Whoops, that doesn't look right. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Why is it busting my chicharrones over this, man? It wants to be case sensitive about this one type. All the other types, you can use the proper form. But big int can only be lowercase. It's so weird. So we're going to rewrite my old Discord bot with TypeScript and Supabase as we speak. So, gotta do the new thing. Because it's new. You know, it's a new thing. Wouldn't want to be caught with the old thing when there's a new thing. I mean, I guess if there's a good reason for it, if you get to delete stuff and you don't have to put your intellectual property in the hands of someone else, just use Postgres. Okay, so we're saying A is 0, B is 1, then A is going to sort first. Alright, so that takes care of memo. Memo is always 0. You got to learn how to use the type system of JavaScript. That's the problem. You don't need TypeScript because TypeScript is going to have you doing all sorts of weird, gnarly crap to get around things that aren't problems in the first place. Just learn how to use JavaScript's types. So I have a good talk for this and a little tool that will help you do it. So if you were to do npx JSWT init in your project, you would be able to use the TypeScript checker for the native JavaScript types. You don't have to use JavaScript. So jswithtypes.com. Check this out. Watch the presentation. But I think that if you understand, so the thing is, The TypeScript type system will take you years to learn. The JavaScript type system will take you a couple of hours to learn. I mean, assuming that you know stuff about type systems in the first place, the JavaScript type system is very, very simple. There are a couple of peculiarities, such as it only has signed and unsigned 32-bit integers. It does not have signed and unsigned 64-bit integers. It only has 64-bit floats, but who cares? That's normal. Or that's what you normally use if you use a float. Normally you're using 64 bits. It does have, I believe, both signed and unsigned 64-bit integers, but those are big ints. So everything that's above 32-bit integers is a big int. Then you have, it's very much like Go. You just have objects and functions, and you can attach functions to an object if that makes you sleep better at night or something. But you need to attach functions to a namespace, and objects provide namespaces. But if there's no need to put functions on an instance. Just put the functions in a namespace and then use them as needed. That's slightly different from the way you do it in Go, but only because JavaScript doesn't have it's slightly different concept. And then your programs run faster too. It's more performant because you use slightly more memory to get slightly better performance. Whereas if you get into the TypeScript dogma, you're going to start having really, really deep hierarchies where you're going to be using more memory and getting slower performance. So if you took two well-written programs, which would be rare, the one that uses the namespaced function style would use, well, actually wouldn't use any more memory. It would be just as fast. So there's no downside to that. That's like perfection. But occasionally you do need to copy a function pointer onto an instance, which would make it faster than the alternative of using some sort of inheritance hierarchy, but will use ever so slightly more memory. One function pointer size more memory, right? So that's typically a pretty good trade-off. But if you go the other way, where you start doing type hierarchies upon type hierarchies, especially where that's implemented in JavaScript, you want to call a function, it's going to have to go up this tree over and over and over again and hit every single node in the tree until it finds the function. And so once you start down that path, you start writing code that is not very performant, and then you start creating more memory issues because you're trying to manage more state. And then you have the whole problem with the asynchronous. You know, if you're using namespaces of functions, packages, then you can use every single thing to be asynchronous all day long. It's going to work just fine. You're not going to have any issues. But you start doing, we just ran into this problem today. So there's a bunch of code where all the business logic was in the constructor, which you should not put business logic in your constructors. Your constructors should be very clean. Like there should be almost nothing in your constructor, ideally, right? But people tend to follow these gurus that put all their business logic in their constructors. Well, you can't have async functions in a constructor. And so then you have all those problems. So less is more. Just learning the basic stuff that you need to use and just and then understanding the patterns. When you need to understand the patterns, you can always apply the basics. You can do some complex super inheritance polymorphism. You probably will never need to do that. But if you did, you can do it with just functions and objects. You don't need all of that other stuff. And also, it doesn't really make sense to fight against JavaScript's type system. JavaScript has a non-conventional type system. I'll grant you that. But it has a type system and it supports strong typing. So you can... And if you use strong typing and you have, like what I was showing you there, that I talk about in the presentation, the actual implementation details of how to do that, if you take that sort of typing and you apply it to your code, the JIT optimizer is going to be able to optimize it. And so you're going to get the benefit of not switching types. So I like Go, and JavaScript is very similar to Go. It's very easy to write Go programs in JavaScript because JavaScript does not require all the nonsense. It's very, it was way ahead of its time. But yeah, you could not write a Go program in TypeScript. Or I suppose maybe you could. You would not be using any of the TypeScript stuff. So I love strong types. I think strong types are the bomb.com. Everybody should use them. Don't use weak types. 100% on board. But adding complexity for the sake of adding complexity, don't do it. Why is this complaining? Very confused about this. Okay. Number or undefined is not assignable to type number. What the letter L? TX sort outputs? What? Oh. Oh. Okay. All right, so we can handle memos. All right, so first we check sats. Then we check memos. Okay, so this is one of the problems with TypeScript checker. Take a look at this, right? it should be able to know that we've checked this condition, right? And then not give us errors, but it's giving us errors. It doesn't follow the transitive property, and I find that to be very strange because that seems like that's a pretty darn easy one to check. You can know what a condition there, you can know what a condition is based off of, and so you can say if you check this and you check this and then you check that, then you've checked both of those. And I don't understand. And it could be one of those things that at the outset seems simple, but then when you dig into it is actually really complicated. But it seems like all of the checks that are being done with the TypeScript checker, they should have a tree that you could trace them back to. So I'm very confused as to why the TypeScript checker. I'm very confused as to why the TypeScript checker can't determine the code. I can't look at the code and determine things with perfect accuracy. Because all of this boils down. It all gives you a result. You should be able to check a thing and then know. So script comes first, then comes memo. Okay, then comes pub key hash. And let's make sure that we're doing this right. The script was supposed to be sorted ascending, right? I believe that's what the spec is for this. See if I can get back to finding it. It was over here. Okay, so if we can compare the scripts, we'll compare the scripts. Okay. Otherwise, if we can compare the memos, we'll compare the memos. Otherwise, if we can compare the pub key hashes, we'll compare the pub key hashes. Otherwise, if we compare the addresses, we'll compare the addresses. And that's all we support right now. So this also almost happened to be right. Okay, I think this is right. Hey everybody, what's going on? What's up on a Monday at midnight? What's the crowd joining in? Stressful day at work. Just need to watch somebody else be stressed instead. Yeah, the output's actually the doozy here. It's deceptively simple because the way the lock script stuff works. Okay, cool. So with this one, I got the sorts in place. Oh, I need to actually implement the sort. Then I need to test this. I think I'm gonna wait to test this until tomorrow because, like I was saying before, my energy is really today. Had a long day, and then I wasn't even started yet, and I'd already had a long day. And so I just kind of want to get a good night's sleep. Maybe drink another one of these. Man, I'm going to go through these so bad. But honestly, they're better than drinking soda in as much as they are a better thirst quencher because they are mostly just water. But dang, I could hit these hard. Yeah, I woke up with back pain because I tweaked my back yesterday. I didn't even notice it. I think I noticed just a slight soreness, like I picked something up. I was moving the trailer. I picked it up with my hands and I moved it a little bit, and I think I noticed like a little bit of a like, oh, that's an odd angle, or But then I woke up this morning and it hurt so bad, and then the other stuff, and yeah, I had a headache. So then I took some Advil, laid down for a bit, and then it turns out that there was an activity my wife wanted to take the kids to, and it was are we going to make it a family activity, or is she going to take them? And I think it's really good that I went. I think it was, if she had gone by herself with the kids, it would have been too difficult. It really needed to be both of us. So that was good that I went. All right, so legacy create transactions. And then we need to do tx.sort inputs, sort outputs. Oh. Duh. Should I do... Maybe I should make it compare by rather than sort by. Because sort... Let's sort the things. Oh, no, duh. Because we already have... Right, okay. What did we do? I was having a moment there. Okay. So we need to get the sorting done before we do the thing. Yeah, I don't actually like the desk there. I want that to be DSC. Because desk seems too much like shorthand for description. Whereas DSC does feel a little more... And we could also do sort by sats and then just call reverse. I don't really like doing the chaining thing. So I think that's good. Alright, so then I also have to make this choice. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. So I don't like -1. I don't like assigning to an object. That's even worse. I mean, that's just... What was that? Is that lightning? I don't think so. It was! It was lightning! Ooh, good one too. I like that. That's what I'm talking about. That's the good stuff. Okay, I could go change index if the ergonomics of it is such that... so... let change equals tx info outputs change index. Or better yet, we do let change is tx dot get change output tx info. I could go with that. I don't know if I want to expand the definition of TX output. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the idea of expanding the definition of TX output for this. For right now, I'm going to go with change index. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to say version equals 3. Well, actually, I think we shouldn't put that there either. This should just be undefined. Oh, it's just regular index of, duh. So we're gonna get rid of that. We're not gonna expand the definition of it. It just seems like a bad idea in general. Remember, the larger the interface, the weaker the abstraction. Okay. Yeah, so that's the way that we're gonna document this, because this is legacy stuff anyway. So that's how we'll do it. That's good. I like that. Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna whip this up. And then we do need an actual test for that. And what we might want to use for it is the actual Bitcoin transaction, just because it's the one that's defined here. I don't like the way the outputs are too simplistic, though. Why don't we just make up 5 inputs? Let's create TX. Yeah, we should unit test the sort function for sure. Let's do mkdir tests. What have we got so far in terms of test? Oh, and there's one other thing that we need to do in here that I'd forgotten about, which is that we need to get rid of the dependency on base 58, which is, it's only a quasi dependency. Oh, yeah, that's the problem. But again, we can fix this a little bit too, because we should just abandon for each was a mistake. Well, not as much a mistake as that it was handled in a bad way. Question is, I'm assuming with all this must be, at some point, this must be async. Holy shiznizzles, this is not async? Ugh. Okay. Create raw. Ah, flippy dippy. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to need to expose some sort of decode function that can be synchronous. That's an unchecked decode function. Because we've already made the API for this. Have we hit V1 on this? No, we haven't. Okay, so we can still break that then. Because hash and sign all is that way already. Let's see, where else are we using this? We're using this to create signed. How the letter L are we doing a create signed? Oh, because it already has all the data. Right. Create hashable. Create raw. Yeah. And I did figure out how to do an actual donation. And that's the op return. Okay. I mean, this is kind of the right approach. I'm not 100% on what way to take this. I think we could have some sort of TX dot. I don't know, verify addresses or something. It's more than verify. What's a property that strings have, even if they're empty? Can I get that, please? That's good. I like that. What is a red gift envelope? Maybe just pick one at random. Hmm. So this will be between 0 and 2. There we go. Actually, wait, don't we have random int now? Maybe it's crypto dot. I thought we had a random int now. Hmm. Oh, that's just a node specific thing. Meh. That's too bad. That really, that stuff like this, that really should make it in. There we go. I wonder if there's a better way to do that you could do it in fewer steps. Whatever. Moving on. So let me do this. Okay, so back to yeah, I need to get off soon here, but I'm gonna save the test for tomorrow. So I'll put in the test tomorrow. We'll make sure that the indexing is working properly, and I'll give the updated bit over to the guy that needs it. Yeah, but that's I'll save that for tomorrow. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see here. And I've not seen these things. Oh, dang, a bunch of. Let's see. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that then. This is good. We got donations are going to be implemented, so that's good. We've got the lexicographical sort implemented, so that's good. And we'll test it, and then we'll release it, and we'll publish it. So yeah, good progress. With that, adios.